Were you born free, or is this something that you had to learn and fight for? And
Born free.
yeah,
No, I mean, listen, this is the way I put it. We're all born free, right? Like, look at kids. They're so free. Like, they'll throw up on your Prada dress. They don't care. Like, they scream. They go up to someone and say, hey, why are you fat? Like, there's the unfiltering, right? So I would assert our true nature is free, but then we develop fear. We develop limitation. We develop insecurity. So yes, I was born free like everybody else. But then believe me, I had my insecurities. I always had to be perfect growing up. It was so tiring because I was so scared that I wasn't enough, just like a lot of people. But then I realized I'd made all of that up. It was not a truth. And that's how I became free. And this freedom I have now is real freedom because it's conscious freedom, whereas a kid, it's unconscious freedom.
when you were in turmoil, how did you open the way? Where did you start?
By my own heartache. Where I found freedom was I fell in love, I thought, with a woman many, many years ago. This is going back to 2000, 2001, which is when I had my big, quote unquote, what do we call it, awakening. Life gave me what I needed to look at, which was the fear of loss. My parents died when I was very young. So part of my fear mechanism, my survival patterns, don't lose anything that is valuable, right? Like money, parents, someone you love. So she was that next version. My parents had died. So the next form of value to me was a girlfriend that I was in love with, right? That's normal. So I'd become attached to her, thinking that was where my love was coming from, which was the illusion. So she left me, which was life setting me up. Now, this is the thing I want you to understand. It wouldn't have mattered if it was her or Tom, Dick, or Harry. It could have been another girl. I was the one that had to deal with my fear of loss. So if it was somebody else, they would have left me at some point too. Why? Because I needed to let go of my fear of loss.
So how did you pick yourself up? Was it a course? Like, a lot of people do the landmark forum. Other people do ayahuasca.
Yeah.
What was it for you?
I just drank a shit ton of gin. No, I'm kidding. I did a bunch of things. I had great friends around me. I loved reading. I've done different courses. I have, everything from astrologers to spiritual intuitives that I've spoken to through my life. I'm familiar with the landmark work. I think they do great work. Hoffman is another place. I've never done that. But there's great resources for people. I just happen to have one of those minds that is able to reflect on itself. It's like my mind can fold back and analyze, sort of in an analysis of itself. So I can remember sitting in my rent control apartment at the time, and I realized, holy shit, the fears that I had, like with this girl, like, is she going to come back? Is she with somebody else? Will I ever see her again? Will I ever meet anyone else again? Am I going to be okay? All of these questions that had so much fear and anxiety around them, I got the answer to all of them. Just sitting there, it was, I don't know. I don't know, Alejandro. I don't know the answer. And for the first time in my life, I was totally okay not knowing, and that was freedom.